Imagine waking up in a world where coffee never existed. No cafes, no morning ritual, no late-night creative fuel. Hard to imagine, right? But the interesting part is not just how much we rely on coffee today, but how this one drink quietly reshaped the world in ways most people never notice. Today, we're diving into the story of how coffee changed economies, cultures, politics, and even human creativity. Our journey begins hundreds of years ago in the highlands of Ethiopia, where legend says a goat herder noticed his goats dancing energetically after eating red berries. Those berries became the foundation of one of the world's most influential drinks. But coffee didn't become powerful just because it tasted good. It became powerful because it changed human behavior. When coffee reached the Arab world, something extraordinary happened. People began gathering in coffee houses, places where social classes mixed freely. These cafes became centers of conversation, debate, and ideas. Suddenly, ordinary people had a public space where they could share opinions. Some historians even call them schools of the wise, because discussions there sparked creativity and intellectual growth. This was the beginning of a global cultural shift. But the real revolution came when coffee spread to Europe. See, before coffee became popular, Europeans typically drank alcohol, ale or wine, even in the morning, because water wasn't always safe. That meant people spent their days slightly drunk, slow and unfocused. Then came coffee, a drink that didn't cloud the mind, but sharpened it. Productivity surged. Writers, scientists, and thinkers began using coffee to extend working hours and deepen focus. Many even believed that the Age of Enlightenment, the explosion of scientific innovation and artistic creativity, was powered by coffee. Coffee houses quickly turned into hubs for world-changing ideas. In England, one coffee house became the birthplace of Lloyd's of London, the world's most famous insurance market. In another cafe, the seeds of the London Stock Exchange were planted. A simple drink suddenly became the backbone of financial institutions that still run today. Journalism also transformed inside these cafes, where people exchanged news and opinions, leading to the rise of modern newspapers. But coffee's influence wasn't just cultural. It reshaped global trade. As demand exploded, European powers began cultivating coffee in their colonies. It created entirely new economies in places like Brazil, which eventually became the world's largest producer. At one point, coffee was so precious that entire nations competed to control it. Smuggling coffee beans became a political act, and coffee plants were even guarded by armies. The global economy was literally reorganized around this one beverage. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, and coffee becomes more than a drink. It becomes fuel. Factory workers relied on it to stay alert during long, demanding shifts. Coffee breaks became an official part of work culture. In offices, cups of coffee turned into symbols of focus and determination. In homes, they became symbols of comfort and routine. Even today, the modern 9-to-5 world runs on caffeine. But coffee also changed the way we socialize. Think about it. Cafes today are workspaces, study hubs, dating spots, creative corners, and community centers. People brainstorm startups over coffee. Friends reconnect over a latte. Writers craft stories in cozy corners. Coffee shops created a shared cultural space that didn't exist before, a place where ideas, relationships, and creativity flow naturally. And here's the most fascinating part. Coffee didn't just change society, it changed individuals. It influenced habits, moods, and mindsets. For millions, coffee became a moment of calm in a busy world, a small ritual that brings clarity and comfort. It sharpened minds, inspired thinkers, and helped people push through challenges. In a way, coffee connected humanity through a shared experience. Today, coffee is a $100 billion global industry. It supports millions of farmers, employs millions more, and connects people across cultures and continents. From ancient Ethiopian hills to modern skyscrapers, coffee's journey is not just the story of a drink, it's the story of how small rituals can reshape civilizations. So, the next time you take a sip of coffee, remember, you're not just drinking a beverage. You're tasting a piece of history, one that changed economies, inspired revolutions, powered creativity, and continues to shape the world in ways we're still discovering.